welcome back to another episode of Breaking Barriers, the mental health podcast. I'm your host, Lizzie.
And Camila.
And we want to start by saying thank you. We know you could be doing anything else. You could be listening to any other podcast, but you're not. You're here with us right now. You're engaging on this journey of growth with us. So we thank you for that. That being said, we have an incredible episode for you today.
So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Narcissistic Personality Disorder. Now, with that being said, let's not confuse some narcissistic personality traits. Maybe you can relate to someone versus the personality disorders. There's two different things. We're going to dive deep into this subject.
So this came about because we actually have a mutual friend that is in a relationship right now with a guy who she believes has narcissistic personality disorder. And we're going to kind of just shorten that a little bit. The acronym is NPD. So she believes that her romantic partner has NPD, and we're going to break it down.
So for the DSM-5, there's typically 9 criteria that you have to have 5 of them throughout a long period of time to qualify to have narcissistic personality disorders. We're going to go by them. And if you know someone, you can already pick up on those signs.
So NPD. Now, let's think about this. People that have narcissistic personality disorder, they have a sense of self-importance.
Self-grandiosity. Mm-hmm. They believe that they're like the king of the jungle, the top of the world.
They have a preoccupation with success, with beauty, with power.
And they also have fantasies about them. They see themselves, they dream of themselves, they dream about them being the center of the universe, the president of the United States, and stuff like that.
They have a sense of entitlement.
They think that they deserve everything in the world when, we know it's not as easy. They also have lack of empathy. They put people down in order for them to be perceived as a winning.
They can only be around other people that are as powerful and beautiful and successful.
So that brings to the need of admiration. They want to feel admired. They want you to be always like praising them and talking all how great they are.
They must be, we said must be admired. And then the other one that we haven't said is envious. They are envious of others, or they believe that others are envious of them.
And with that being said, they also exploit others in order to obtain whatever their goal is. They don't care what you're going through. They're going to always put themselves first.
Yeah, always thinking of self-gain, right? What can they gain from the friendship, the relationship? So her question to us, this mutual friend that we have, is, can you be in a relationship with someone that has NPD? And it got us thinking. You can, if you set healthy boundaries.
And if the person with this condition, they have some sort of insight about what's going on, they acknowledge the diagnosis and they work through therapy for it. Because quite frankly, if I put myself in anybody's shoes dealing with this, based on my own experience, I can only say now that I'm on the other side, that yes, I couldn't, but also if the person doesn't have the insight, if we're not working towards it,
I can only take so much.
I just can't.
So we just reviewed all 9 characteristics that meet the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. You have to have at least 5 of those in order to be diagnosed with NPD.
Correct.
Think about, and I want to talk to the audience for a second, think of your own lives. I challenge you right now. Is there someone in your life that maybe meets at least 5 of those, that you often think, oh my God, whether it's a boss, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's, even your child, really.
A father, a brother, a sister, a friend. Even when you're dating, you can pick up on these signs. And it's important to know that this is a compensatory behavior, because when, as they were a child, maybe they got too much attention or not enough attention, and they had to learn themselves how to just put themselves first. So they are very smart when it comes to picking up to micro expressions. They're gonna know when you're lying or you're not lying, but they have that lack of insight, a lack of self-identity, that they're going to try to put on these different masks to portray what maybe you want to see. That's when in dating, they're going to love bomb you at first. They're going
Love bomb
Yes.
you. I love that term.
They're gonna bring the moon to your feet. They're going to, I don't know, they're going to prove yourself that they're like the best person because they want to make them the center of your world.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they have you right there, they're going to switch on you and you're not going to know what that came from.
Oh my God. I'm honestly thinking right now of people in my in my past that maybe I was unaware of why the relationship became a little unhealthy. And it really goes back to the fact that I think he should have been diagnosed or is missing that diagnosis of NPD.
So again, there's not a cure for this. The only thing that someone diagnosed with this that they can do is to do some behavioral therapy, have some insight, learn about whenever they portray certain behavior, what is a normal reaction of someone that is being affected, and slowly you can work on that relationship and have, the person with the diagnosis, how they can control their behaviors, change that, start having more insight also on someone else. And I don't want to say the victim.
No.
But
the other person in the relationship.
Correct.
That does not have the NPD needs to learn different coping strategies.
Exactly.
And understand how much you're willing to take.
And boundaries.
Yeah.
We already spoke about this.
Which is one of our previous episodes where we talked about healthy boundaries, setting those boundaries, and again, knowing how much you are willing to take.
Mm-hmm. So guys, now that we've explained how this personality disorder presents, I want to ask you, because by now you should have an idea what I'm maybe thinking of someone that you can know, whether it's a friend, a coworker, a family member. But we want to teach you or go over how you can handle any situation or this particular person in a healthy way.
And again, it could be a romantic relationship. It could be maybe a boss or even a family member that's presenting this personality disorder. And one of the things that you really need to be aware of is your coping strategies when you're dealing with someone with NPD.
They're going to take advantage. That's the first thing. When you're not aware of these signs, you're going to start to blame yourself because they do play these tricks, unfortunately. They're going to put up different masks to try to exploit you and trying to get what they want. They're going to turn with the reverse card, like, oh no, why are you telling me this when you are the one?
They're going to make life very challenging.
Yes. So.
And in order to, we always talk about how you have to prioritize your own mental health and well-being. So in order to do that, you really need to understand, again, that these people are going to make life challenging and you need to have your coping strategies in place. What are those strategies? And in the past, on so many episodes, we've gone over whether it's exercise, whether it's, yoga, meditation, but setting those boundaries is going to be extremely important for your own mental health.
And they don't like boundaries. They're going to do everything they can to tear them down, but you have to stay on your ground. And I think that's the only way to actually handle this situation, to set the boundaries, tell them, look them in the eye, I see you. I know who you are to your core. And then they're going to try to sweep all the different faces that they have.
So if you're thinking about someone right now in your own life and you're, again, not sure, remember the acronym Special Me. And this is how I remembered it. And I think it's very helpful. So when you go over these characteristics, S is going to be for sense of self-importance. P is going to be prioritizing success, power, and beauty. E is for entitlement. They have a sense of entitlement. C is they can only be around other powerful, beautiful, successful people. I is interpersonally exploitative for self-gain. A is arrogant. L lacks empathy. M is they must be admired. And E, envious, or they believe others are envious of them. So that is your special me acronym. And that's how you're going to remember. And that's how you'll know, is my boyfriend, is my sister, is my boss narcissistic? Do they have the narcissistic personality disorder?
Yes, so that was great. And again, I want to remind the audience that they don't necessarily have to have narcissistic personality disorders. They can still have some of those, let's say 3 out of the 9, not have the personality disorder, but they still have narcissistic characteristics or personality traits that they're still not okay. The first thing that I can think of mind is dating and an ex.
Yes. Like, I will tell you that recently I got together with some girlfriends, and one of them just got out of a relationship, and she was saying how she believes that her boyfriend has NPD, he's a narcissist, he's, and I went through that acronym with her, and he definitely has a couple of those traits, but not 5 out of the 9, which we know is what meets the diagnostic criteria.
And then again, when you're involved in a relationship with someone like that, you don't really pick up on the signs, because since you are unaware, you fall into the trap. They manipulate you. They are gonna flip it and make you believe that you're on the wrong, and then you're gonna feel bad, you're gonna feel guilty, and they've gained power. So the first step, and back to the episode that where we discussed boundaries, is to be smarter than them. Like, your truth. You cannot allow somebody else come and tell you, no, what you're feeling or what you're thinking it's not true. It's actually, you're the one that's making me feel bad. They victimize themselves.
Right. It's interesting because I can tell you that I have also had a friendship with someone whom, very close to me. But when you're dealing with someone with NPD, and this friendship was very close to my heart, but she definitely had NPD, or has NPD, I should say. It was always about her, about what she was going through. It was always about her success, about what she was doing to herself to make herself more beautiful, being around other brilliant people, how she was moving up in her career. So keep in mind, and I say this to the audience, narcissistic personality disorder is going to be something that can be in a romantic relationship or a friendship, or again with your boss in the workplace. So just kind of keep in mind those different red flags.
And also to add to that, sometimes it is very difficult when you have a parent that has the narcissistic personality disorder, or they're only focusing about themselves, or even when actually normal parents, they have just a single child. They focus so much attention and they praise their child that they don't realize that they're actually harming the child, versus let them face a little bit of failure. So they don't develop this sense of like entitlement almost.
I'm so glad you said that, because as a parent, you want to constantly, make sure that your child is thriving, is flourishing in life. And you constantly tell them, oh, you're doing great. Oh, I'm so proud of you, this and that. But like you said, taking that to the extreme, such as, my child is brilliant. My child is the smartest in the class. My child is so beautiful. My child is the best, You have to be careful that you are not planting these seeds and creating a monster later in life, because, and I'm not saying that having narcissistic personality disorder that you're a monster. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you want to be mindful that you're not enabling certain behaviors.
But again, with a personality disorder, it's not something that they're aware, or there's no insight at all. Like, they don't realize that they have their behaviors. They don't realize that they're putting others down for them to shine. They don't realize that they're manipulating you. Actually, There's some that they don't, but there's some others that they would intentionally do it. Like they like to scheme to take advantage of other people. And that it's where either you have a strong personality and you set those boundaries like, hey, not today, or you're gonna be eating away and taking advantage forever for the rest of your life.
So to the audience, as we are summing up this episode, we want to explain again that if you have, or you're in a romantic relationship, or you have a boss or a family member that is presenting these traits of NPD, Narcissistic Personality Disorder, please know that it can make your life a little bit challenging. So make sure that you have those coping strategies in place.
And to add on to that, guys, this is a message not only for anybody experiencing a relationship with someone that may or may not have narcissistic personality disorder, but they can have some of the traits. If you have a narcissistic personality disorder or any other disorder, make sure that you learn some coping skills of your own, how to deal with your own inside process, how you can affect someone else. Through therapy. I highly recommend it. And we hope that you learned something. And until next time.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.